Welcome to Coffee with Clint. I'm happy to welcome back Deepak Khazanchi. And welcome, Deepak.
Thank you.
Deepak is the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Professor of Information Systems, Quantitative Analysis at the College of Information Science and Technology. He's also with the Peter Kiewit Institute at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Quite a title. But welcome back, Deepak. We're really glad to have you.
It's always good to be back.
So, just to start off, what's new with you? What's going on now?
Well, now I guess I'm here for the 5th time. That's nice, to Innsbruck. And really what's new is I've also taken on another role of helping the college expand its international partnerships. So this is perfect for me, being in Innsbruck. Yeah.
Great. Double degree programs. Just your thoughts on how it's gone, how it's going,
Right.
maybe future?
Yeah, I think that, from it looks like it's working well from the MCI side of things. I think we're receiving students who are doing the double degree between Omaha and MCI, but I think the challenge for us continues to be sending American students here for a year. And I think we need to continue to kind of find ways to provide funding for them. So that's really the key constraint for our students in the U.S., because students tend to work and they don't want to leave whatever jobs they have for a whole year. So we are going to try to advertise a little bit more to our students and also try to find other sources of funding for students to come. But I think this is where the future lies. I mean, in terms of education, you have to have students who have a global perspective and dual degree programs, and I hope ultimately a joint degree maybe that actually has a single degree with both university seals would be the way to go in the long term.
Yeah, so it encompasses, so everyone knows once they've graduated or gone through the program, they know that they've got this global experience, and I think that will add to their marketability, if you will.
Exactly, Clint. I mean, I think that, the point is that every company, whether it's in Omaha, Nebraska or in Innsbruck, Austria, has a global reach, even though they may have a local presence. And I think, getting the students to experience what it means to be a global citizen is even more critical now. Mm-hmm. And I think these kind of degrees provide that opportunity. I think exchange programs are great, but having a double degree arrangement and ultimately, hopefully, a joint degree where there is less, a little bit less effort on the student's part to finish the degree would be probably our ultimate goal as a partnership. Yeah.
The global classroom growing.
Yes, the global classroom, and I think that American students, I guess, to some extent, don't exploit the study abroad opportunity as much as European students do. I think it's natural for students from Austria and from other European countries to travel because it's so easy to go to other parts of Europe. But having American students travel to Europe or Asia, is challenging.
Your reflections on the Atlantis program, because it will close, I guess, this summer, correct?
This summer, yeah. Right. I think it's been one of the more successful exchange programs, I would say, mostly because it was bilateral. There's a lot of resources attached to it. And, we have had a good movement of both students and faculty. I think it could be a great example of exchange programs that, that can succeed and are sustainable, provided we continue to, find additional resources for our students to travel. I think for us, especially in the American side, we really need to, exploit these kind of relationships and develop more funding potential for kids to kind of replace their income, if you want to call it that, and spend a semester here. But I think, right now we have 5 students here, which is the last group, and they are all actually going to meet me today evening. And they're all been very excited, very happy with their experience. And I think that's the same thing is true of the students who have come from Innsbruck. They have had great experiences in Omaha. So I think it's an amazing thing that in the middle of Midwest United States, in a city like Omaha, you have this fabulous opportunity to have 1,000 plus international students, and some of them are from Austria. And our students really learn a lot from even having the students there. So if they can't travel, this is one way of them getting exposed to global citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is good, regardless of whether our students actually come here physically in the numbers they have in the past. But I'd like to see that they do. So I think that's something we want to continue to do.
To continue, yeah, I understand. I can understand and appreciate that. I think that Americans have this tendency to want to stay in America. It's just the way that you're brought up. The country is so vast, and there's so many things that you can see that, unlike living in Europe, where you can move from country to country, and people do grow up with this kind of international setting. So it's more maybe simply just changing the view a little bit, right, allowing them to feel that. And like you said, with the international students you have, they do get that chance, the opportunity to see what it might be like, and right, what it is to come from a different culture and be exposed to that culture, right, quite a bit. And I think it's great. And it is, like he said, as I do know Nebraska from having lived there myself, it's the place that you wouldn't think of, but it's the place that's really making it happen.
Right. No, I think in Omaha, for example, you have Fortune 500 companies. All the students who have come from Innsbruck, they've had the opportunity to go visit. Some of them, we always do a field trip, so companies like Valmont and Conagra and Union Pacific and Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway. So these are headquartered there. So, people always get surprised about the fact that these huge companies are located in Omaha. And in fact, last fall when the students from Innsbruck were in Omaha, we took them to Valmont, and they got to see the plant and see how technology is being used in this $1.2 billion company. It's a huge global company. It has factories in Europe and East Asia and India and obviously the United States. So this is it's interesting that a company that started in Valley, Nebraska, which is a small town, has a global footprint, and we have students from here seeing how they actually manufacture irrigation systems and light poles, which is what their products are. And we also had the students go visit Gallup, which is another company that's headquartered in Omaha, and it's a privately held company. And if many people would have heard of Gallup polls and Gallup surveys, well, that's the same Gallup. They are in Omaha, and they have a huge presence, and they hosted our students, and including all the Innsbruck kids, and they got to see what Gallup is doing from the inside and how their technologies are being built to report on the kinds of data they are collecting from around the world. So they have actually a Gallup World Poll, which shows you, the sentiments of citizens around the world.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So these are the experiences that students will never replace.
True. Yeah, and we're glad to have you, very much so, because you are an experience that we can never replace.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I certainly appreciate you talking with us again. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and we look forward to the next time.
Absolutely. I hope I get to come here every year.
Yeah. So, thank you, Deepak. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your time here. Try to get at least some hiking in, if not some skiing in while you're here. I know it's only a short time, but hopefully we can.
I'm at least getting the beautiful view of the mountains. Mm-hmm. That's a great start. It's kind of indelibly marked in my brain. I would say that, considering that I am of Indian origin, living in the United States, Bollywood has really made Innsbruck famous, right? All the mountains show up in all these songs that have nothing to do with the movie.
It's true. It's true.
So, thank you so much.